Hey everybody, so before I get into today's video, which is all about Tiger King, I thought I should just let you know that YouTube has now enabled the feature from mobile devices where you could become a member of the channel simply by hitting the join button, which is right next to the subscribe button on the home page of my YouTube channel, Lion Whisperer TV. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit more about Joe Exotic and Tiger King. Have you heard about this docu-series on Netflix called Tiger King? You have. Right, good morning everybody. Today I'm going to be taking Meg out for a walk, and on that walk I'm going to be asking her one question in a hashtag Ask Meg, if you will. And the question is, Meg, what do you think about the Netflix docu-series called Tiger King? So if you want to know what Meg has to say about the docu-series, then stick around because you're not going to want to miss her answer. Right, so we're here, arrived at Maggie's enclosure, but back away there. Hello, my girl. Hello, my girl. Let's go walking. Walkie, walkie, walkie. Walkie, walkie, walkie. Let's go. Let's go, pretty girl. No, don't try and stop me. It's not gonna happen. Don't be lazy. Come on, lazy pants. Oh, you've got your energy back, my sweetie. No, and flop it up. Flop, flop. Come, girl, let's go. Let's go walking. All right, somebody's ready now. Ah. Happy days, happy lion. I was interviewed the other day and asked the question, do lions experience emotions like being happy? And you know, for me, it's just normal that, yeah, of course they do. But obviously there's people out there who still think that these animals cannot get happy or sad or, you know, experience the kind of feelings that we do as human beings. Now, every time I take Meg out for a walk or any of the other lions, you can visibly see the happiness, the joy, the excitement. So yeah, I challenge anyone to tell me that these animals don't experience joy, and yeah, this is just proof of it. Just seeing her having absolute blast getting out here. She's not there. Yeehaw, what's that? What's that, my dear? Eh? Wow. Nice. Nice, nice. Pheromone City. There we go, happy cat. Look at the smile on her face. We need to go down there. Why don't you want the water? Eh? Why don't you want the water? Alright, so guys, while we wait for Meg, everyone's been asking the thoughts about the docu-series, Tiger King, with this really crazy guy called Joe Exotic, and all the other characters that play a role in this this real life soap opera. My one word answer to what I thought is stupefied. I was absolutely stupefied by what's going on. Let me try and explain. the knowledge, guys, that America has this issue with big cats and big cat ownership has always been there. There we go, my girl. Yeah. No, you can't go there. Yeah, hello, silly Billy. Yeah, that's better. She's been dying. Should we find somewhere to rest? What was sad was the millions of dollars spent on lawsuits, personal agendas, not about actually big cat ownership at the end of the day, more about being right, more about winning, typical human nature. It's about winning at all costs. And those millions of dollars that were spent on both sides, and some of them donors' money. Yeah, wasted money, guys, because where did that go? It didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere besides into lawyers' pockets. All right, guys, so Meg might not really like this topic because it's talking about her cousins and the conditions that they live in and what is going on. So before Meg went for a drink, I was talking about the fact that it came as no surprise that there's a big problem with big cat ownership and big cat welfare in the United States. And in fact, there's estimates of numbers of anywhere between 6,000 and 10,000 tigers being kept in captivity, both as pets in so-called sanctuaries, zoos, backyard zoos, you name it, they're being kept. And that's in comparison to less than 5,000 tigers in the wild. Some would say more closer to around 4,000, even less than in the wild tigers. So that wasn't the surprising part. The surprising part, guys, was how these places are being operated, and the characters and the dimensions of the characters that were involved. That, for me, was really perplexing. But before I get to that, what was really sad for me to see was the fact that the tigers and the lions and the chimpanzees and all the other animals were actually just stage dressing to the bigger story, which was the people. So, you know, what actually should have, in many respects, highlighted the plight of these animals, the fact that these animals were living in absolutely appalling conditions. And yeah, you see, she doesn't want to be part of that because she doesn't know what it's like to live like that. But that shocked the hell out of me. You know, you do hear about appalling conditions and you hear about, you know, the lack of welfare, but you don't really think about it until you see it. And I think that's the power of video. Knowing lions the way I know lions, to put these animals in cages, lock the lock and throw away the key, so to speak, and that's their life, would be taking away their soul. It would be taking away Meg's soul. Look at this lion, guys. Look at her. She's behaving and acting like a lion. She's not a pet. She's not behaving like a pet. She's not in somebody's house or in somebody's Ferrari or being exploited, perpetually walking her on a chain or on a lead. I mean, the difference is so obvious. The lions in my care get the ability to explore a bigger area, still doesn't make it right. And I often sit and reflect and say, sure, a part of me just says, I can't wait for this to all be over. And I know a lot of people are going to go like, but then that's your career over. And I'm like, no, because I think I've got bigger things to do in terms of my foundation and continue my work, but projecting my energies more towards wild habitats and wild lions. No more lions. Once the last lion here takes its last breath, that's it. We will close the doors to rescues. What we will do is open our doors to rehabilitation. So I've spoken to a number of vets that work in the wildlife industry, and with the facilities that we have really good facilities to keep predators. And what we would do is we would offer the facilities for specific and select cases to allow those animals to come here until they are rehomed or released. So if they're injured or sick, they can come here until they are able to be released back into the wild. So in other words, no animal will stay in these areas that we have allocated for extended periods, and certainly not for forever. And that's where we are, that's our mandate and where I stand now. So Meg, when she passes on, I'm not going to replace her. Amy passed on, I'm not going to replace her. Once we have free enclosures, we have offered those enclosures for the purposes of rehabilitation. That's where we are moving towards. It makes no sense to perpetually rescue lions and put them in cages. If you want to stop seeing big cats in cages, stop putting big cats in cages. That's my belief. So guys, yeah, I don't have much to say about the docu-series other than that it is just really worrying that there are those types of people that just treat the ownership of these animals as though they are an item, a commodity, an object. So that for me is sad, because when I look at Meg, or when Amy was around, or Bobcat or Gabby, it's not just a lion. I mean, it's part of my family. So I just don't get it when people are trading these animals like they are nothing. It's just like, I need some money, so I'll just sell this tiger. And I also don't get how you could perpetually just breed them and then not worry about what you're going to do with the cubs. And then you get these stories about the fact that some of these places are just euthanizing the cubs or euthanizing the adults when they're no longer useful. And by euthanasia, I'm referring to either just shooting them or gassing them, or whatever means to get rid of them, which is really, really sad. Perhaps I should tackle the question which I get asked by a few people, not everyone, is, do I think my relationships with the lions create the demand for other people to go and pet lion cubs because they take what I do out of context? I suppose this is going to be something that I'll have to justify until the last lion in my care passes away. But when I weigh up the pros versus the cons are far less than the pros. The pros far outweigh the cons, guys, in all aspects, because it's complicated. It's not just a black and white answer. In all aspects, the pros outweigh the cons. But if I had to take all of that and put it to one side, one of my biggest factors, one of my biggest motivations for doing what I do is so that the lions can live a decent life. And you know what? I think they deserve that. I think they deserve to live a decent life if they're going to live in captivity. And I've touched on it before, and I've spoken at length about it, that for me to put a lion in a cage and to give it no form of excitement or purpose to live for, is just stealing its soul. You can see it at a lot of facilities with lions with no soul, and I can't do that to my cats. It really has been a draining, I would say, a mentally draining and emotionally draining hashtag Ask Meg. I feel exhausted, guys, because I can't even begin to tell you in a short little segment what's really going on in my mind, because there's so many things that I probably haven't spoken about. There's a lot of things that I feel I haven't articulated well enough. It's complicated. Yeah, what's really fascinating is the more I've worked with these animals, the more complicated I realize it is. When I first started working with these animals, I just thought it was simple, but now I realize it is super duper complicated, and yeah, I'm tired, and I think sometimes I wish I could bail out. Sometimes I wish I could just say that, you know what, I'm going to do what everyone else does. I'm just going to wash my hands and walk away. Change career. Who wants my lions? And I can't do that, because this animal rolling in poo, she needs me. How could I do that to her? So as much as some days I wake up thinking I've had enough, I'm tired, then I just go for a walk with her or any one of the other animals in my care, because that's all they are, guys. They are in your care. You're a custodian. You do not own them. I always say to people, you know, when I talk about my lions, it's not in an ownership perspective. These are not mine to own. I'm merely a steward. Hey? I'm merely looking after them. I'm merely a custodian. Yeah, guys, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you all for all your support over the years. I suppose all that's left at the moment, or from us, is to say from Meg, who's got a second wind. So from Meg and myself, until next time, bye.